Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinran Yoku, bringing you a volcano eruption update. Well, live in Iceland. And we're going to be covering many topics, but the main focus is going to be on the eruption at Gleldingalda in Fagradalsfjall. And we're coming to you tonight, Thursday, March 25th, around 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2021. We'll get back to that volcano, but before we do, let's talk about some of the specifics. In volcanoes worldwide, volcano alert was raised to yellow at Cleveland in the Kamchatka. No, actually, this is the Aleutians in Alaska. And Cleveland has very explosive volcanoes, been going off time and time again. Mount Cleveland erupted 3 times in 2009, twice in 2010, both solar minimum times, and once in 2011. That's the entire solar minimum. And it's now back alive towards this next grand solar minimum. And, well, the alert level has been risen. Keep calm. It's boom time. That's not the only volcano. Worldwide volcano news update. We've got Dukono, Piton de la Fornas, Sangay, Sakurajima, Sabancayo, and Ibico. And in fact, we do, have an uptick here at Piton de la Fornas volcano in La Réunion, France. Might be heading towards new eruption as the seismicity peaks vertically there. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. And the Soufrière, St. Vincent volcano, West Indies. This is in the Caribbean. That lava dome we reported on over a month ago was just a little dome here and has now filled the whole valley, which is very similar to what's happening in Iceland. The valley, the Glendingu Valley, is going to be filled and it will dump over. And we're going to be reporting on that in just a moment. Reykjanes eruption, a look underground. The best, or a look above. Take a look at that. Fantastic. What's better than a erupting volcano in Iceland and some northern lights? Let's blow that up. That's just fantastic. And this is happening now in Iceland. And that's, a picture is worth, well, 1,000 words. Now, the most impressive action at Reykjanes continues to be at night. That isn't because of a werewolf, but it's because the camera can see lava much better at night. And we're going to be showing you some of that footage in just a moment. And we're looking at the seismicity worldwide. There's nothing to be reported on, nothing significant. But as far as space weather, we have just entered a very strange realm here. We could potentially have a small sea flare shooting off here, according to the Enlil spiral. Could be that blip, which is now parsed up here about 8 hours later into there. Not a big effect to Earth. But what we do have is some strange harmonics happening now on Earth where the magnetometer has dropped off the charts. So interesting to see how that recovers in the coming seconds or minutes. Now let's get to the Reykjanes Peninsula and look at some of the seismicity, which has returned in earnest after a lull for at least 6 hours here. We've got another pocket of seismic activity as the eruption increases. We're going to go over 2 of the updates from Iceland geology for you in great detail. The long eruption is now expected in Fagradalsfjall in the Glendingalda Valley, soon former valley. Do you see how they put that? That means this valley is going to fill with lava in just a few days. Based on lava chemical details, we're going to go over the papers with you if you're interested. If not, I don't know why you're watching. University of Iceland has released a report that can be read here. Click on that, and we'll go over that, showing the magma is now erupting and coming from a depth of 17 to 20 kilometers. At this location in the Reykjanes Peninsula, it's around 17 kilometers deep, and a 3D map can be found here, which we're going to be showing you in a moment. So what seems to be now happening is that a shield volcano is forming, similar to Mauna Loa or Krakatoa. And it is a question currently if it's going to result in the formation of new magma chambers along the dike where it's formed. There's continued risk that new vents and fissure eruptions will open at this site, and they're being very safe because the public is allowed to go out and watch this. And in case this change can happen without warning, so people are being very safe. Based on earthquake activity, it seems the dike continues to be active rather than having turned into rock by cooling. And based on my observation, it is becoming more active as the days wear on. Now, this is a direct connection with the deep mantle. And that stuff coming out of there is very hot, so it's not going to cool the pipe. It's only going to make it larger by melting the host rock. It's that hot. Now, here's the paper coming out just hours ago, characterization of rock samples collected on the first and second days of the eruption. And this gives major elements in mineral chemistry of the Tholieitic basalts coming from below. Now, these Tholieitic basalts come from the mid-ocean ridge, which are atypical on the continent of Iceland, because the mid-ocean ridge is under the ocean, but does happen to split the island of Iceland. But what typically happens is the mid-ocean ridge basalts mix with the continental rocks of the island and create something different than the Tholieitic magmas we're seeing here. This is a very rare eruption. Hasn't happened on the peninsula or in this region for over 17,000 years. And these types of Tholieitic magmas that are coming up from this deep can create fissure eruptions that last for decades or hundreds of years. In the past, that is how they typically erupt. There are no exceptions. Now, and what that means is that this little valley in orange here that is now currently filled with lava, isn't that awesome? Yeah, I know. This is the Glendingalda Valley. If I could just tilt it up here for you and roll that around. So what eventually is going to happen is this lava is going to fill this entire valley, and it's going to start to spill out down here. There is also another pinch point, if we can rotate it, that we've all determined is right here. And that will be the first place it dumps down here. And this is the Natagi Valley, which we were talking about the eruption opening up in anyway. So it's going to come down into the Glendingalda and potentially dump over into this region. But first it will come into the Natagi Valley and could go either of these ways, especially if it's long lasting. So I'm going to leave you all these amazing graphics, which will totally trip you out, where you can see where that lava is now filling the valley, and it's going to spill out in two directions. Over here and first over here. And it's going to have to fill major areas here before it makes its way to the sea. And now let's get to the good stuff. Live over in Iceland to the big show. Boom time. Live. Now you can clearly see here, because it's night, you're picking up a lot more light. But in the last 48 hours, this was the main vent. That vent to the left didn't even exist. Now, in the last 24 hours, this more western vent has now grown in size almost to equal the eastern vent here, and is actually more productive than this original vent, and is creating this huge, massive lava flow, which is quickly filling the valley, which they're estimating to be filled up in just 8 to 18 days. And now what we've witnessed in the last 48 hours from our investigative standpoint is that there has been a steady increase hour after hour of lava output in this valley. It's not decreasing. There are no decreased times. Each and every hour, there's more and more increased effusive activity, more and more lava dumping into this valley. So this is definitely a developing event. So this is only the very beginning of the event, and it's going to continue to grow based on everything we've seen here. This valley is going to quickly fill up. This mountain that people were climbing is going to now be part of the plain of lava that fills this valley. As it dumps out here, it's going to dump out to the left down in the corner here, but first it's going to dump out to the right. And it's already covered potentially a very historical site right here of one of the people that discovered Iceland after the last time it was erupting continuously. So interesting information coming from Iceland as the event develops. Give them a thumbs up here at RUV. Subscribe to the channel. Tell them Diamond sent you. And we do have an update just happening moments ago. There is a minor earthquake swarm in the northern Tyrannus fracture zone, which is far away from this event, but would be the opposite of the mid-ocean ridge moving through the island. And we could see some subsurface volcanic activity popping up from there. And then that would be a shutdown for air travel. And if that continues for decades or years, there would be no travel in the northern hemisphere around 57 degrees north latitude or wherever this is happening. 66.5, right there. I just got it live. So that could be a problem circling around the Earth ad infinitum with huge amounts of steam and vapor, because when you erupt under the ocean, you get hydrothermal events that are epic. Hope you got something out of the video. Things are developing quickly and spectacularly. I just saw an explosion coming from one of those vents. So we're going to leave you links as the uptick happens in Iceland and the lava flow continues to increase moment by moment. Hours of powers. This is an amazing geologic phenomenon we're witnessing live. I'm glad I could be a part of it and share with you this type of information. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Don't be scared. Be prepared. In an event that we have multiple fractures opening up in Iceland and air travel shutting down, it won't affect you immediately. This is a long-term effect that's going to slowly roll out, just like the end of the empire. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Plant seeds now. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And we love you. And that's a boom to knowledge. Click on one of the other boxes to gain more knowledge and get up to speed. And be safe. And that's a boom. No.